Hello and welcome to the Rose Method Flow series. In this series, we will learn how to optimize our flow. What is flow? Flow is life. We think of our breath and the flow of breath into our body. Without it, we would cease to live. We think of our heartbeat and the flow of blood throughout our body. Without that, we would cease to live. We think of our nervous impulses flowing in and out of our body. Without that, we would cease to feel, we would cease to function. Flow is life. And in this class, we will learn how to attune to the nature of our flow. We will learn how to attune to the nature of the universal flow. These things are intertwined. These things are conducive to one another. And so by attuning to these things, we will realize optimal flow. We will be tuning into the fluid nature, the liquid nature, the shape, the wave, the current, the direction of our flow through a series of exercises, through a series of mindsets, meditation, through breath work. We will find the optimal flow within and without. This will help our interactions. This will help our life at large, right now and in the future. These principles will help us throughout all aspects of our life, and you will see the implications of this practice the more you go along as it continues to reveal itself to you, as it does to me and other practitioners of this practice. So, if we look at what these classes are, we see a deep inspiration through practices such as Tai Chi Chuan, and these are the traditional Chinese practices that help us attune our flow with universal flow. Universal flow is the flow at which things flow naturally. Everyone is always in a certain flow, and we can get into a chaotic flow, we can get into smooth flow, we can get into whatever sort of flow that we are occupying at the time. So by attuning to our most ideal flow of calm and ease, we will be tapping into the vital resources in our body and letting them go where they need to go naturally. We find that when we let go and we let flow, things in our body will work naturally as they are supposed to. In Chinese medicine, we see pain as stagnancy in the body. And so if we are able to let go and let flow and let things flow freely, these pains and these lack of function or form in our body will dissolve and help attune and harmonize and become their most optimal state. Essentially, what we are seeing is this essence of flow integrating into our body. So we will work with the mindset. We will help attune our bodies by looking at different aspects of nature that hold flow. We look at water. We see how water can flow gently, and water can also flow powerfully. But it always flows effortlessly, and it always flows downward to the great ocean. Every stream, every river flows to the ocean. And then through natural process is cycled and back again. So we will be exploring ancient and modern techniques to help realize this optimal flow within our body. Now, on a practical note, as we're adorning our mindset, we will also be adorning attire during this practice that helps our bodies move freely and comfortably. That is to not wear any restrictive clothing that prohibits movement or any clothing that distracts you or takes away from the practice in any way. So keeping you warm and comfortable. And also on that note, a location that will be conducive to your practice is very important. So if you can find a place with reduced distractions, I'm in this room here where Hopefully we will not be bombarded by distractions, where I can keep the temperature at a neutral temperature and everything will be able to transmit clearly to you. I hope that you can find a location wherever you're at to help the information transmit through you and to help you benefit from this practice as much as possible. So optimally, this practice will be developed over time. You might experience immediate effects of this practice, but as I've discovered, things that I thought I knew about flow in my body and in my breath and in my physiology, I'm continuing to learn and have it be revealed to me in the moment, and as this practice sinks into the core of my being and as I attune to the natural principles of flow. And I hope and predict that it may be the same for you as it is the same for many Tai Chi practitioners and other people, movement artists and flow artists that will develop their flow over time. Now, this practice, these classes will be an hour in duration each. And as you learn these tools for yourself, you will benefit from practicing, whether it's 5 minutes or up to hours a day. As this practice is non-exhaustive, this practice is neutral in form, and you can't overdo it. Now, I like to practice flow exercises early in the morning when I first wake up. I will go outside by a lake. I will attune to the water waves and I will do my practice there. Now, I don't necessarily do this practice right before bed. I would choose a more relaxing exercise. I would maybe do this practice while winding down for bed if I was, let's say, too excited or too stressed out by the day. I would use this to help me neutralize my energy. And now, essentially, when you're practicing this, I hope that you can find your own inner guide as to how this will best work for you. As I have learned these practices and integrated them into my being for my most optimal use, I hope that you will do the same. And that will be said for any time that any of these practices if they ever become painful or if they ever become too arduous, bring them to an intensity level that makes you feel good. Now, I will stress that the importance of making this a practice is going to be the most important key in developing this attribute for yourself. So if you have a solidified practice where you are bringing your energy, your mindset, your form, your body into these practices, that's when you will see them benefit you, and that's when you will see them work within your life. You might notice that you are able to flow through your life with ease, and that's not necessarily saying that you're easygoing or a pushover. That's saying that you could have the flow of a stream, a gentle stream in a tough situation, or you might have the effortless flow of a tsunami to flow and to engage with your life at the intensity at which comes naturally from the core of your being. This is the benefit of practice. This is the benefit of prioritizing these attributes into your life. And so I hope through these practices that you'll be able to take away your fluid, liquid nature, your wave, your shape, your current, your direction of your flow to be optimized and benefit you. And I thank you for tuning in, and I'm very excited to begin practicing with you. Thank you very much.